What's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batman Detective Comics, issue number 1052. This one's written by Mariko Tamaki with the art by Max Raynor, and the backup storyline was written by Matthew Rosenberg and art by, I'm drawing a blank right now. But anyway, so this one's part 6 of the Shadows of the Bat storyline, so we are now like 6 weeks into this event, so we're at the halfway point already. Time sure does fly by fast when you're having fun, right? So we got another 6 straight weeks of Detective Comics to keep rolling out. So, like I said, like there's a little bit of Batman fatigue going on with all the different Batman books and all these other events and that going on. But this storyline so far has been pretty decent. Although now I'm starting to kind of question like how stupid Dr. Weir's plan is. Like, he's using Psycho Pirate, and based on like what the book is kind of showcasing to us, aside from showing how kind of Batman and Dr. Meridian kind of gained a little bit of a trusting relationship and more stuff with Helena and like them trying to like gaining kind of a bit of awareness of what's going on, but keeping Psycho Pirate like kind of drugged up on like caffeine pills and all that to have him kind of control everybody pretty much like nonstop every minute of every day is kind of a bit ridiculous. The fact that he's got to like maintain this the entire day until like nighttime, like for like however many weeks until he can do this, like I feel like you could probably utilize his powers in a better way to scam people than this. This seems a little bit kind of ridiculous, like something some crazed villain, like I said, a crazed villain would kind of come up, and it's like when you kind of break it down, like this makes no sense. So yeah, that's pretty much like what we got here. Psycho Pirate's kind of losing his grip, and like no real big major revelations about anything, kind of stuff we already know because they've already kind of like showed us like what happens at a certain day in this thing. I mean, they do kind of stop the shipment of drugs. The doctor is kind of getting a little bit angry because Meridian's still not signed off on the whole thing. Psycho Pirate's still trying to manipulate her, but it's still not fully working right there, and the Bat family's kind of like working together, like, okay, we're able to stop the drug stuff here, but we're making progress in a way. And even like Helena is like kind of realizing that her mind's kind of like there's something kind of going on in there, and she wrote in her own blood, his hold is breaking. So that's kind of where the storyline ends. So I'm curious to see what they do with the next couple of things. Like I feel like this is like, because it's at least weekly, it doesn't feel like it's dragging as long. I think if this were like a once a month or like twice monthly, it would really feel the length. But because it is weekly, it does, like I'm just like, okay, here's the next week for the next part of this thing. So it doesn't quite feel like it's really dragging as much. But like I can understand if they release this thing like over the course of an entire year, it'd be like, okay, like next to nothing, we already kind of know the ending. So I'm not sure why they like showed their hand at the ending, and I also am not sure why this needed to be a 12 like issue weekly series. You could have done it like in 6, or you could have done it like, I don't know, like 8 if you had to do like 2 months of it rather than 12. But who am I to judge, I guess. But anyways, that's kind of that thing. Then in the backup storyline of the kid whose name, they're getting ready to kind of drop his name, but like they still haven't quite said it. So I feel like that's going to be some big reveal. Yes, our favorite little redhead here, who's just been kind of thrown in the shitter. His parents are murdered. He's dragged to Arkham. He's dragged to the Scarecrow. Like, he is put through shit, and it's like every single issue, it's like, okay, what's next? Oh, he's taken in by the Penguin, and what does he do? He ends up betraying the Penguin. He runs into Jason Todd at a kind of a younger age. I'm not sure what they're doing. Like, this just feels like, okay, let's torture this kid some more. Then he gets thrown into juvie for working for Penguin and all that stuff because he tried to like backstab and steal him and all that other stuff. So, and Jason kind of kicks him in the face at some point, so he's going back to Arkham. Like, this kid, whatever his name is, he has been through shit. He's just been put through hell, and it's just kind of like you feel really bad for him at this point. It's like, okay, what I just feel like the storyline's gotten to the point where it's like I feel like they're just kind of torturing this kid for like 6 issues. It's like, I'm like, enough, okay? I feel like I've seen enough. I don't really need to see this child get tortured anymore, but I feel like they're going to kind of prolong this up until whenever the storyline is going to end, and such. I don't exactly know at this point, but yeah, like I said, it's still interesting. It's still kind of an engaging story, and I'm like wondering like who the big reveal is going to be for this kid's name. The other storyline, the Tamaki one, the artwork this time around was really, really good. Like I said, Max Raynor is a really talented artist. I loved his work on Challenge of the Super Sons. The colors by Luis Guerrero, once again, are fantastic. And like I said, like it's still got stuff kind of going on. It's not really like I feel because we already know kind of the end game of this thing. Like, okay, we're getting slight revelations. It is taking its time in some ways, and it's like some bits it doesn't feel like dragging. I don't know, I'm kind of losing my train of thought, but overall consensus, I thought this issue was all right, but I'm starting to realize, like, this is kind of a really stupid plan from the villains. And of course we know it's going to go wrong based on what happens in the first issue in this particular arc, but it just, like, I feel like he could kind of utilize, like, Psycho Pirate's abilities in a better way, like, considering, like, he's almost, it's like a mind control thing. He's able to affect people's emotions. Like, why go through all this trouble? Why not just mind control some people and steal money from a bank or something like that? Why do you need to have this thing where he's kind of kept high on all this stuff for however many days? Why not just rip off some rich person in Gotham, just kind of manipulate him to be like, you want to give away money to this person or something like that? Problem solved. I mean, they're obviously going to know you're going to steal the money. They know who you are, Dr. Weird. They know you're a con artist. So, like, why go through this really ridiculous con to begin with? It doesn't really make sense to me. Like, it just seems kind of stupid now that I think about it. But anyways, backup storyline, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, this kid just feels like he's kind of gotten tortured. And I'm getting to the point where I'm like, just cut this kid a break already. We had 6 straight issues of this. Like, enough. Let's get some levity in here at some point. But I feel like we're going to kind of keep seeing that more and more. But yeah, like I said, my thoughts are a little bit scattershot here for Detective Comics 1052, because I'm like, we're at the halfway point of the storyline, and I'm just kind of starting to realize that some of this stuff is pretty stupid. But the artwork is really good. It's not like I hate it or anything like that, but it's not like a wow, like fully captivating kind of storyline at this point. Like, it's interesting, like, it's decent, but it's not like amazing. It's not like I'm like clamoring for the next part of the issues. I think because they dealt their hand a little bit too early. They showed us the ending of it. And I think if they would have just kind of held that off, and then as we're kind of going through this, then, like, my interest in, like, okay, what's going to happen next? Now that you've kind of shown the ending, kind of kills the suspense a bit for me. But I'm sure there's more to it. Maybe Dr. Weir's alive and it's all hallucination. I don't really know at this point. But anyways, what are your thoughts on Detective Comics 1052? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Tell me them in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications, like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Be sure to come back next time. I'm gonna post 2 reviews tonight. I'm gonna post this one. I'm gonna post Batgirls. Then I'm gonna go ahead and try and catch up and read some more stuff. So look forward to that. All right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.